Hello and welcome to my channel. I am Leora and I help individuals like yourself to discover and reveal their light within. This week's energy has to do with freedom. It's a very exciting week that we're in right now. And what does freedom actually mean? What does it mean to be free? When I have enough money, am I free? When I have the right relationship, am I free? When I have the correct house I want, or the pool in the back, or what is freedom? Or the job, my dream job, is that freedom? What is freedom? None of that has to do with freedom. Freedom is actually when you're not influenced by any of that. That means you have certainty, you have a happiness, you have a joy within yourself, no matter what your situation is. Now, stick with me for a moment. If that special relationship, if that house, if those material things are what brings freedom, then what's going to happen when those things aren't there? What's going to happen when the relationship falls apart? Or you lose the job, or you lose the house, or then all of a sudden you're bondage again, correct? But what true freedom means is that I have certainty that no matter what's going on around me, no matter what I have, no matter what I do not have, no matter what it looks like on the outside of me, I have certainty and joy and love on the inside. And it's not controlled or influenced by anything that is in the outside world. That is true freedom, because then you are in control of your life. When your life is controlled by your outside circumstances, then you're in trouble because at any moment you can fall into bondage, because those things are really the determining factor of whether you're happy or not, whether you feel good or not, whether you feel fulfilled or not, are you getting my point? So true happiness has to do what is on the inside of us. So the question is, okay, well, Leora, I just don't have enough money. Okay, that's a material aspect of it. But why does it bother you not to have enough money? There's a lot of people out there that don't have enough money and they're not bothered by it at all. So what's the reasoning behind it? And that's where your opportunity for freedom comes in, because you're in bondage in that area, because that area controls you, because you feel that you are in lack. And when we're in lack, that means we're not free. We're imprisoned in that area of our life. So let's stick by money for a moment. So, okay, you don't have enough money in your life. What does that do to you? There are plenty of people I've been to Colorado before. There are plenty of people who are homeless and they're as happy can be. There are CEOs who earn millions in a year and they're miserable. So what is freedom? So if we go deeper, we have to look deeper this week in order to come to the accumulation of the hidden fears or the bondages within us that we can set free come Saturday night. Okay? So what is behind that? Okay, well, I feel like I don't have enough money and that it's taking away my freedom and I feel restricted. I feel scared. I feel scared that because I don't have enough. I don't feel like I have enough. I don't feel like maybe I'm enough. Okay, that's what I mean by going deeper. You have to go deeper and get to the root of it. And so what do you really want? Now, I want to have the feeling that I'm enough and that if I put in the effort, then I can have the certainty that as long as I'm doing my part, that the universe will do his part. Okay, and so that's the secret, the certainty behind what our lack is. So relationship, let's take that. Okay, I'm not happy because I'm not in the relationship I want to be in. Okay, that's an external thing. Let's go internally and see what's really behind that. What's going on? Okay, if I had the relationship that I wanted, then I would feel validated. I would feel maybe worthy. I would feel loved. I would feel maybe that I'm enough. Okay, so what's in control? Where's the prison? The prison is on the outside. The prison is in the lack of not having this relationship. But the true prison is in the inside. And the outer world is just reflecting what we have on the inside and giving us a chance to transform that. So, okay, so I know I'm enough. So you have to change your self-worth, your self-esteem has to change. And once that starts to change and that self-love comes in, then all of a sudden your material world will reflect that change within you. Okay? So, and people settle for things all the time. Let's say that you have somebody and they're pretty happy and they're pretty satisfied with their life. You know, they have a good marriage, they have some kids, the kids are all doing well, they got a job, you know, so they're kind of complacent. Okay? They're kind of settling. They don't really want to rock the boat. You know, everything's going pretty well. That's also a form of bondage, okay? Because you're not really happy unless you're truly fulfilling day in and day out the purpose for which your soul came here for. And your soul did not come here to play small, I can promise you, okay? For the soul to incarnate every morning in this body, come back to this body and live a day within this body is limiting. You have to imagine your soul is a limitless, all-powerful, all-knowing being of energy within this limitation. Where's the fun in that? Okay? We are supposed to be growing out of our limitations on a daily basis. That's where true joy and happiness and certainty comes in. So we want, what's our soul really wanting? Because that's truly where we're going to find our happiness. Our soul is wanting that level of fulfillment day in and day out. And if we're playing small and we're settling for that relationship just because it's convenient or it's because we're used to it, if we're settling for that job just because it brings in the money but we really hate it, that's all limiting. And so we have to change that within us and be courageous and really go for what we want and don't be complacent, okay? Because that's also a form of bondage. So everything this week that comes up that we are seeing in our what's called the mirror world, what we're seeing reflected on the outside of us in the material world, we want to look inside of us and see go deeper with it. And what does it mean? What is this lack or this fear, this lack of something, or this fear that we have? What is it that's underneath that, going deeper and deeper within us so that we can transform that? And by transforming that, we will come into our freedom in that area, and then the 1% material world will start to reflect that back to us, okay? So another way to ask this question is, how am I getting in my own way? What am I doing to get in my own way from really being free? So that's what we want to each ask ourselves this week. What am I doing to get in my own way? Because you are actually the only person who can really get in your way. Okay? So ask yourself that and reflect upon that every day. Ask your higher self. Ask the universe, what am I doing that is tripping me up? Show me my prisons that I'm imprisoned in. You know, I had one client that was very interesting because bondage can also be when we are not being authentic, when we're not living every moment of every day in our authentic self, our empowered self. It's also a form of bondage. So I had one woman come to me and she had this issue going on in her marriage. And when she was around her husband, she would become a totally different person, really introverted and closed up, instead of being really extroverted like she is and letting her light shine. And she came to me and said, I just can't be myself around him. He dims my light. And so we got to talking and stuff went deeper because that's something in the external that she thought was hindering her. And so we got to talking about it, and it just came out to be that type of personality, that controlling type of personality, which reflected back to her father, was the problem. She would be submissive and quiet and dim her light in the presence of that personality type. So it's funny that she chose a husband with that same personality type, and she didn't realize that she was doing that. And it was like breaking free from prison for her, because now that she realized what she was doing, and it's not really her husband, it's her, she can actively, proactively, consciously start to change it. And that's what freedom is. And so now she goes about being herself shamelessly, regardless of he's there, another dominant figure in her life is there, her father's there, it doesn't matter. She is vibrant and just charismatic and just in her strength now. But it was her ego telling her that lie. And so what lies are we telling ourselves? That's what we're wanting to figure out this week. We want to investigate. We want to be detectives this week and figure out, what lies have I been telling myself? What lies have I been listening to? It's actually our ego telling our these lies. So what have I been listening to? What am I believing? And any time, just like I had this example with this one woman or husband, anytime we are focusing on somebody or something outside of ourselves, we have to turn it within and say, okay, where's my inner prison? Where am I in bondage? And that's where the key is, to open up that jail cell and let yourself out, okay? You can free yourself. You are your own savior. Okay, so how am I getting in my own way this week? We're going to pause and enjoy the process. It's not about just ticking off a to-do list, okay? And being happy when we get done with it. You know, I know another woman who was just, everything was really going well in her life and stuff. And she was all about getting it done. Doesn't matter what it was, she was getting it done. Whether she was going to a charity event, whether she was going to dinner with her husband, whether she was out with the kids at their soccer game. It was just about one thing after another getting it done. And she was extremely successful. But she was not very happy because she wasn't living in the moment. She wasn't enjoying any of it. Okay, and so she wasn't giving herself any self-love and a break. So we have to learn that it's not just about getting it done. It's about enjoying the process and enjoying every moment of it, embracing it. And when we are going through something, when we notice that, for instance, this is a very good rule of thumb. When you notice you're triggered with something and there's a chaotic situation in your life, or a challenge in your life, or a challenging person, I know none of us have any of those, then we're going to stop and take that breath in and pause and say, okay, what a pleasure. This is here for me. Thank you. And we're going to get excited about it. Oh, there's a challenge here now. Oh, I'm so grateful this person is here in front of me yelling at me right now. I'm so grateful that this challenge has come up. I'm so grateful now. And we get excited about it because we know there's a blessing in there. There's always a hidden blessing in everything if we are proactive. If we get reactive, then we're going to be getting yelled at. Then we're going to be losing that money. Then we will reap that negative thing in front of us. But if we learn to pause, say, what a pleasure, and get excited about it, then quickly the situation will turn and we'll just know what to do. We'll have the answer because we're not blocking it. If we get into that energy of what's going on in the external, then we'll block the answer. We'll block what the solution is. But if we just go within and say, yes, this challenge is here for me. Now show me what I'm supposed to do with it. The answer will come. Okay, so enjoy the process. Enjoy this game of life. Okay, so we had settling for less is bondage, being different and not authentic in our true selves, and comparing yourself with others. That's also a form of bondage. Okay, we don't compare ourselves with others. I know I've said this on a couple of videos now, but it's about being the best version of yourself each and every day. Okay, I need to be a better version of myself today than I was yesterday. That is our one and only goal. And if we slowly but surely keep that as our goal and make sure that we are improving on a daily basis, then we are going forward. We're making progress, and that's what counts. So enjoy this week. Really do the inner reflection of seeing where are you in bondage, and know that it's not anything that's outside of yourself. It's all within yourself. Take responsibility for it, Because when you take responsibility for it, then it means you have the power to change it. And you alone are the only one who has the power to set yourself free. I wish you guys an empowering week.